What are the benefits of charcoal to your poultry? I've seen most videos whereby people have posted the benefits of charcoal to your poultry. And in today's video, I'm going to tell you my take. What are the benefits of charcoal to your poultry? For those that don't know what charcoal is, this is how charcoal looks like. This is charcoal. This is the derived whereby the wood is burned whereby there is no enough oxygen so that it can form this charcoal. Don't give your chicken charcoal that has been burnt using oxygen present. It won't be able to have the benefits that I'm going to tell you. So make sure if you are giving your chicken, you're using this charcoal that has been made using inadequate oxygen, that has been combusted and made this form using inadequate oxygen. So what is the first benefit of giving charcoal to your chicken? First of all, there's something known as activated charcoal. Activated charcoal is whereby you take the charcoal, then you crush it, then you use lemon to make the activated charcoal. The benefit of activated charcoal is that if your chicken have been given any poison, maybe they have been poisoned by a neighbor or they have eaten anything that is poisoned, make sure you can give it activated charcoal. Even for human beings, if you find that you have ingested anything that is poisonous to your body, when you go to the doctor, they usually give you activated charcoal. They don't give you the milk or the eggs as most people usually say. The activated charcoal is what they usually give you. I will post a video on how you can make activated charcoal. So if your chicken have been attacked by anything and they have eaten anything poisonous, make sure you're giving them activated charcoal. And also, the activated charcoal is usually used as a toxin binder in the poultry. That means that during the feed formulation, people usually use activated charcoal as a cheaper way of toxin binding the feed. So that is another way that you can use the activated charcoal in your poultry farm. That is one benefit. The second benefit of activated charcoal in your poultry farm is that it can be used in making of the dust baths. You know, the dust baths whereby the chicken usually try and bathe themselves. This will help to alleviate the attack by the lice and the mites on your poultry farm. And you know, for example, if the mites attack your farm or the fleas, they usually drink a lot of blood from the chicken. And this usually lead to the reduction in the growth of the chicken, and also it can slow down the growth of the chicken, and also it can reduce in the production of the eggs in the chicken. And also it can make the chicken just look very inferior. We are feeding your chicken and your chicken is not growing. So that can lead to huge losses on your poultry farm. If you can be able to make a dust bath using the charcoal on your farm, make sure you use the charcoal so that you can be able to make something out of this venture. Another benefit of charcoal in poultry farming is by the mixing of the wood shavings or the bedding of the chicken. If you are living in an area whereby you have kept a lot of chicken in one place and that place is well congested, make sure that you use the charcoal in mixing with the bedding. You make sure you crush the charcoal, then you put it with the bedding. After you have done that, you'll be able to carb down on the ammonia in the poultry coop, because the charcoal usually absorbs the ammonia and it binds it together. There won't be too much ammonia in your chicken coop, meaning your chicken will be safe from respiratory diseases in your chicken coop, and that will lead to a profitable venture in your poultry farming. That is another way of how you can be able to use charcoal on your poultry farm. Let's head to another benefit. The other benefit of using charcoal in your poultry farm is by introducing the charcoal in the chicken diet. How does this help the chicken? One of it, we have said it is a toxin binder, meaning it will be able to absorb the toxins in the chicken gut. And the other one is it will help to reduce acidity in the chicken's stomach, meaning it will be able to maintain the pH levels in the chicken's stomach, meaning it will be able to enhance production, and also it will be able to enhance the growth of the chicken, meaning the chicken will grow faster and also the chicken will produce more eggs, leading to a healthier flock. This will save you a lot of money because you won't waste a lot of money in buying of the antibiotics so that you can be able to treat your chicken on your poultry farm. So that is another way of how you can benefit by using charcoal on your poultry farm. Let's head to another benefit of charcoal on your poultry farm. Charcoal has a lot of benefits. Let's head to another one. Another benefit of charcoal in your poultry farm is that it will be able to reduce diarrhea, and also it will be able to treat coccidiosis on your poultry farm. What is coccidiosis? Coccidiosis is a disease that usually attacks your chicken in case you have poor sanity on your poultry farm. And how can this be treated? You can be using the charcoal, crushing it and introducing it in the water or introducing it in the feed. Most of our ancestors, they usually used charcoal, like my grandmother used charcoal to treat coccidiosis on her poultry farm. And this is how I'm also using charcoal to treat coccidiosis on my poultry farm, meaning the education was passed down from one generation to the next. And also another way I usually hear people usually say that you can use the wood ash. After you have used the wood ash, then you put it in a can, then you put water in it, then it removes that something out of it, that water out of it. It also can treat some coccidiosis in the chicken, but it won't be able to treat it fully because that charcoal hasn't been combusted without the proper lack of oxygen. It won't be able to perform properly as for the charcoal that is whole. So make sure if you want to be able to treat the coccidiosis on your poultry farm, make sure you are using the charcoal that has been burnt without the proper oxygen, meaning in an area that doesn't have enough oxygen. And that's why you also find out that most wild animals don't tend to get sick easily, because they usually wildfires and they usually charcoal in the forest. So these wild animals usually ingest the charcoal in the jungle, be able to bind some toxins in their body, and that's why they usually live for longer in the jungle without any antibiotics in the jungle, and the wild animals will be able to live longer. So that is one secret of why the wild animals in the jungle usually live a longer time, unlike these ones that we have domesticated at home. So we have to really copy and do what the wild animals in the wild are doing so that we can be able to get a profitable poultry farming venture. Another benefit of charcoal in your poultry farm is that it will increase the egg production, and it also increase the collagen in the egg of the chicken. And how can this be achieved? Make sure when you are doing this, you mix the charcoal plus the apple cider vinegar. This will be able to increase the collagen. What is the collagen? The collagen is the protein content in the egg of the chicken, meaning the egg will have more protein that is produced from it, meaning it will be more nutritious if a person consumes that egg. So that is another benefit, because it will make sure that all those nutrients that are needed to be absorbed by the chicken so that it can be able to produce the egg, it will be able to produce the egg properly. And also the other part in that is that if the chicken ingests the apple cider vinegar plus the charcoal, it will lead to something that is very good for the chicken. This is the chicken will be able to absorb the calcium properly, meaning you won't be able to get soft-shelled eggs in your chicken coop, meaning you will be able to make more money out of your poultry venture because you won't be getting losses from the eggs that have been spoiled due to soft-shell eggs from the chicken. That is another benefit of the charcoal to your poultry. There was a study that was done by a certain university whereby it was found out that if you mix 1% of charcoal plus feed, it will lead to high production of your chicken, meaning that this will lead to low output of the uric acid from the chicken, meaning that more protein will be able to be absorbed by the chicken, meaning it will be able to enhance growth for the chicken, and also it will be able to enhance productivity for the chicken. And also during that study, it was found out that it was able to reduce the ammonia content in the poultry farm, meaning if there is reduced ammonia content in the poultry farm, meaning the chicken won't be able to suffer from many respiratory diseases in your poultry farm, and the chicken will be able to live healthily for a long time, meaning it will be a production gain for the farmer that is keeping the chicken. That is another benefit of using charcoal in your poultry farm. What are the types of trees that should be used in the making of the charcoal for your poultry farm? And what are the types of trees that should not be used in the making of the charcoal on your poultry farm? One, the trees that should not be used in the making of the charcoal on your poultry farm is that the trees that have been painted or the trees that have been chemically treated. For example, a tree like this one, a log like this one that has been chemically treated, since we are using it in the construction of such a poultry house, we have used some anti-termite and anti-pesticide or insecticide, may not be used in the making of the charcoal that can be used to feed your poultry. That can lead to huge losses on your poultry farm because you can end up finding out that that insecticide may not be easily destroyed by such a fire or such heat, and it can really affect your chicken. So make sure you are using trees that are naturally found in the wild and that they are medicinal in a way. If they are medicinal, it will be a beneficial additive for your chicken, and your chicken will be able to grow properly and you will be able to make something out of this venture. And the other way is that make sure you don't use the wood ash in place of the charcoal. Make sure you find a way whereby you can find a kiln and you can make your charcoal that is burnt in an aerobic place whereby there is no enough oxygen. So that is how you'll be able to make the proper charcoal, and that will be beneficial to your poultry farm.